When it came to his mortality, Len Goodman retained his legendary good humor. Asked how he might like to be remembered, the former governor of the BBC's Strictly Come Dancing replied, "Just right, he was a dance teacher from Dartford who got lucky, because that's just about the truth of it." While he was undoubtedly blessed with luck, Goodman was 59, semi-retired and running a Kent dance school when the call that would change his life came. It was what he made of it that is his legacy. Goodman, who died on Saturday aged 78 of bone cancer, seemed to have had a premonition he might not have long. Speaking in December when he retired from the US version of Strictly Dancing with the Stars, he said, "My dad had the right idea. He loved gardening and he had a stroke while he was in the garden. He was 79, so if I go the way of my dad, that'll be next year." He was due to celebrate his 79th birthday today, but died at a Kent hospice after having realized his ambition to become a star. Back in 2004, he was still tap dancing around a crossroads in his life, wondering whether his chance had passed him by. After retiring from competition in his 30s, he founded the Goodman Dance Academy in Dartford. It was flourishing and his judging at international dance competitions was respected. He was slim and as fit as ever, but, despite being crowned British Ballroom champion 4 times, he hadn't made it as a star in the mold of his idol Fred Astaire. Rumors were circulating that the BBC was planning a dancing spectacular with celebrities partnering professionals to see how they fared under the spotlight. When friends and colleagues asked if he had been approached, he lied, claiming he'd turned an offer down as it wasn't his cup of tea. Then when Izzy Pick, producer of Strictly Come Dancing, finally called him, he jumped at the chance to join the panel and work with the legendary Bruce Forsyth. "Izzy got me to do a commentary on some couples dancing on a video and she seemed to like my slightly off-the-wall criticism," Goodman recalled. "I even started teaching her how to dance, whirling her around the tiny monitor room where we'd gone to watch the clips. But she gave no indication if she thought I suited the show, and afterwards I was really deflated. I felt sure it hadn't gone well." Don't miss Len Goodman's reason for leaving Dancing with the Stars. Latest, Strictly's Len Goodman predicted his death in haunting interview. Latest, Strictly's Motsi Mabuse breaks silence after Len Goodman dies. Latest, Len Goodman made heartbreaking confession to King Charles about family. Latest, Strictly judge Len Goodman died of rare cancer, says health body. Latest, Queen Camilla responds to Len Goodman's death. Latest, Len Goodman dead, updates and tributes after star dies aged 78. Latest, when she offered him a job a few days later he leapt for joy, nearly bashing his head on the ceiling. "Here I was, about to enter my 60s, starting out on a whole new adventure and my first big job on TV. Not bad for the grandson of an East End barrow boy and somebody who had never wanted to be a ballroom dancer in the first place," he wrote. He was being paid £1,000 a show in the early days, the most he had ever earned. That would rapidly rise as Strictly became one of the mainstays of British TV and was exported around the world. Goodman was born in Kent in 1944. His father Len was an electrician and money was tight as they grew up in a 2-up, 2-down in Bethnal Green, East London. His mother Louisa felt comfortable living with her parents in the overcrowded house, but there were strains. His grandfather, fruit and veg seller Albert Eldridge, pawned his watch to buy stock for his market barrow, which he pulled along, sometimes with his grandson sitting on the top. Eventually Albert got a horse and then a shop, and Goodman was kept busy cleaning the stock of fruit and vegetables. In 1950, when he was 6, his parents moved to a semi-detached house in a nice neighborhood on the Kent coast where the family ran a greengrocer's shop. But his parents began arguing. Eventually, his father packed up a suitcase and left, leaving him a note which read, "Please don't think my love for you has changed or anything. It's just that your mum and me can't live together." As a teenager, Goodman was more interested in sport than dancing. "When I was 14, some of my school friends started going to the Court School of Dancing in London," he recalled. "I never fancied it much, being more interested in playing football and running. My mate Pete Dawson was always on my case about it. Len, you'll love it, you really will. You'll meet girls." In the end I agreed reluctantly to try it out. "I found the whole thing very nerve-wracking." Eventually, however, as the weeks went by and I got to grips with the dancing, my confidence grew and I plucked up the courage to start asking different girls to dance. One of the highlights of the night was a "Kiss Me, Excuse Me" dance. This was when your partner and you danced together and a boy could come over and tap you on the shoulder and say "Excuse me" and take over your girl. You kissed the girl goodbye and went off to find a new partner. It was the modest beginnings of a career that would eventually win him titles such as Duel of the Giants, British Rising Stars, the British Exhibition Championships, 4 times, and the World Exhibition Championships in the early 1970s. Although he enjoyed dancing, there was never any grand plan to turn professional. At 15, his head teacher told him, "Goodman, you will always be a failure." After school, he was apprenticed as a welder at the Harland and Wolff ship repair yard in North Woolwich, London. But by his late teens it was clear his fortune could be made on the dance floor. He started winning competitions and was becoming known on the circuit. The work ethic instilled in him as a boy was paying off. Strong and muscular, but light on his feet, he kept his back straight and his chin high. When he was in his late 20s he won the British Championships in Blackpool. His hero was Fred Astaire. When Fred got to Hollywood he was sent a note after his first movie audition that said "Can't sing, can't act, going bald, but can dance a bit." And he still became a huge star, Goodman remembered. "In my case, my dance teacher Nina Hunt said I was like an oaf after she'd seen me dance. I think she was the strictly judge, Craig Revel Horwood of the 60s. But I suppose it was tough love. And improve he undoubtedly did." Later, for a TV documentary, Goodman tracked down one of the star's former dance partners, the U.S. actress Mary Chase. He also got to touch the shoes Fred wore in the 1935 box office hit Top Hat. "I got a bit stupid, a bit overexcited when I saw those shoes," he confessed. "I think I may have even kissed one of them, but it was genuinely a great moment for me." Fred Astaire was always in my mind when I was dancing. I was always trying to replicate his elegance. He always looked for that Astaire magic when mentoring the celebrities on Strictly, which he joined in 2004 before spending 12 happy years as the chief judge. Never afraid to speak his mind, he tried to look for the best in contestants and offered friendly encouragement to those who were genuinely improving. He often clashed with other judges when he felt they were being overly critical. Goodman's enthusiasm when awarding contestants a score of 7 points effectively turned the number into his catchphrase. Not that he was entirely a straight man, some of his best-loved remarks to celebrity contestants included, "You floated across that floor like butter on a crumpet, it was like watching a stork who'd been struck by lightning, and for me, you can't waft enough." When he finally bowed out of Strictly in 2016, he was at the top of his game, even though he was 72 and wanted to leave on a high. "There's nothing wrong at the moment," he said then. "I've still got my faculties, but it's a bit like gambling, you've got to know when to hold 'em and when to fold 'em." Away from the BBC studio, he evolved into a celebrity in his own right, comfortably chatting to the great and good from all walks of life at events up and down the country. He danced with Queen consort Camilla in 2019 and looked part of the royal circle. Rarely would an event pass by without someone calling out his catchphrase 7. As Strictly took off, Goodman found himself in demand across the pond on the US version, Dancing with the Stars, from 2005 until his retirement last November. For a while it entailed a grueling cross-Atlantic commute to film both shows. He retired to spend more time with his wife Sue and his grandchildren. Although he joked about being remembered as a dance teacher from Dartford, warm tributes have flowed since his death along with a few tears. BBC Director General Tim Davies said, "Len Goodman was a wonderful, warm entertainer who was adored by millions. He appealed to all ages and felt like a member of everyone's family." As his greengrocer granddad might have said, Goodman knew his onions. His aptly named memoir Better Late Than Never, From Barrow Boy to Ballroom, was published in 2009, and when fame finally came his way, he knew how to seize his opportunities. Goodman married original dance partner Cherry Kingston, but they divorced. He had a long-term relationship with a woman named Leslie, and their son, James, gave them 2 grandchildren, Alice, 7, and Jack, 4, with his wife Sophie. Goodman later married Sue Barrett and they remained blissfully happy. He once admitted, "The truth is I would have ended up a failure if a friend hadn't encouraged me to take up ballroom. I only went along because it was 5 blokes to 30 girls in the class. But I found something I enjoyed and was reasonably good at. And, like Fred Astaire, dancing completely changed my life."